But baby, never did I think I could feel this way. Now I'm missing you every night and day. Can I see you?
เ by themselves, sila mag-book.
Oh.
Top down, hear the sound of the breeze carrying us away. Dust in the rear view, free as a bird. This is our time. Every mile we only brought us here. Now the road is clear. Shotgun ride on my Friday night. Sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past. Deal with it another day. All we got is this open road. No plans, just a cranked up radio. Ain't promising forever, ain't no end in sight. Girl, I'm loving the ride. You know I'm loving the ride. Oh yeah, I'm loving the ride. Can't you feel this is real, you and me? Nothing in our way. Baby, we were born to run. Take them back road, let's make a great escape. 'Cause this life moves fast, we can't stop time. So put your hand in mine. Shotgun ride on my Friday night. Sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past. Deal with it another day. All we got is this open road. No plans, just a cranked up radio. Ain't promising forever, ain't no end in sight. Girl, I'm loving the ride. Don't matter where we're going, don't matter what we do, long as we got each other, just me and you. Shotgun ride on my Friday night. Sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past and deal with it another day. All we got is this open road. No map, just the stars to light the road. Ain't promising forever, ain't no this hard. Yeah, wanna feel your surround. And I would like to should I close my eyes and never again hold you tight, call you mine, think about you every time.
Second one,
I remember that it's over.
11:15.
Yeah. With my guitar, it left a town. I drew my heart and let it wall. But I felt things were better now. I belong in your arms. Got a paper cup full of wine. I played the Charles Bridge on the side. With your hand resting under mine. Hope I'm not so out of line.